right. Good girl. Sweetheart. You're okay? Good girl. All right. A minute to hop in here. All right. All right, so this is Tequila. This is the second time that I've worked on her. Last time she wasn't very happy to see me. Just a little bit of a difficult mare to work on the last time. Right now, the trainer is saying that she seems very stiff going to the left, especially in her hind end, sweetheart. So I'm going to take a really good look at that and see if anything is bothering her back there. You can see overall, you know, just demeanor wise, she's a bit grouchy. Doesn't really like to be touched a whole lot, it seems. She's really tight in her withers right here on the left side. And she's got some scarring on her, like maybe her neighbors are picking on her a little bit. But I just want to try to help her relax a little bit and hopefully work out some of these tight areas. You can probably see on her that her neck is pretty banged up. So if I show you here, I'm not sure if you can see, yeah, you can see all these big divots and everything up here. So she's got a few old injuries there. Maybe one or two of them could have been from when she was in the womb. Sometimes when they're in the womb, their feet are up against their neck like this, and then they are born with an indent into the muscles. We call that a Pharaoh's thumb. And it can be, some people think it's a good luck sign. Oh, but you know, mostly it's just from how they developed in the womb. Very common in Arabians. Good girl. So you can see how her ears are just kind of wanting to go back, and she's just not thrilled to be here. So I'll just take it easy with her. Just do you know, mostly some muscle work. On a horse like this, if you have the type of body language where she's just kind of guarded and you can tell she just wants to kind of go away and go backwards, you know, if you do something quick and abrupt, she's going to really react, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience for either of us. And so with a horse like her, what I like to do is just go nice and slow, do more of a soft tissue treatment for her, do some range of motion stuff where I'm applying slow and consistent pressures and nothing real quick, because if I do something real quick and startle her, whatever trust and rapport I've built with her over the course of the appointment is going to be lost. And it's like you got to start all over again. She just won't trust you. So I got to work on first building some trust with this mare first. And then if I feel like she's okay for an adjustment, then I'll go ahead and do that. But first things first is just getting them comfortable, getting them to realize that you're there to help, and you know, you're the good guy. So that's what I'm going to do with her. And like I said, this is my second appointment with her, so it should be a little bit better right off the bat with her this time than it was the first time. But you can just see, you know, she turns her head, she kind of pins her ears. Yeah, she is little, but I feel like she has the potential to be really sweet. It's just right now she's pretty guarded. So pressure points are going to be huge for this mare, as well as just doing some nice soft tissue work and just getting her to relax. So that's what I'm going to do here, is just see if I can figure out where she's sore, where she's tight. See that? So you can see that pain face, the ear pinning. She's just uncomfortable and unhappy. Good girl. Her back muscles are real tight. Good girl. So this is just a rapport builder. a rapport and a trust builder appointment. Hopefully we can get her to relax and feel good in the process. Oh, there we go. There's a nice big deep breath right there. And that's kind of why when I go into these appointments, especially with new horses, you know, I have an idea of what I want to accomplish, but as soon as I get into the stall with them and I see what I'm dealing with, it can completely change. So, you know, with this mare, the trainer's saying that she's real tight on the left side of her hind end. So my goal is to clear that up, but maybe she's tight in the hind end because she's tight between the ears, right? She's just guarded, uncomfortable, very watchy, can't relax, and things are just always real tight and contracted, and she gets sore because of that. That could very well be. So just allowing her mind to relax, and that way she can let her muscles go and let her body relax. You can get a lot of things cleared up just with that. So that's what I'm going to try to do with her. Hello, Kat. Thanks for watching from the UK. Hello, Hillary. Patricia, hi. And Kendall, of course, hello. All right, so you can see when I'm working with her. Oh, easy girl. You can see when I'm working with her and I'm up front here. Come on. Good girl. Over. Good girl. So you can see when I'm up front here and I'm just kind of rubbing and scratching and just, you know, talking kind of quietly with her up here, she's totally fine, right? Ears are forward. She's liking it. But when I start to drift back here, the head goes up, eyes get wide. She's very watchy. Like, what are you doing back there? I'm not real comfortable with you being back there. And then if I touch the wrong spot, then she starts to spasm up. See that? You can see all this muscle twitching and spasming here. So this mare is real uncomfortable on the left side of the wither. And like I said before, the trainer is saying she's really tight going to the left. Well, these muscles that attach to the wither on this left side eventually insert at the rim of the pelvis back here, right here. So if these are tight, you're going to get tightness along this entire back extensor chain, and it's eventually, of course, going to make her tight in the hind end. It can make the SI joints tight. It can make the glutes and the hamstrings not fire because these muscles pull that pelvis down and forward like she's extending those legs behind. So if the muscles are tight that extend the legs behind, then the muscles that bring the leg forward aren't going to be firing because you can't fire both at the same time. So it's really important. And people say, well, you know, what comes first, like the muscle work or the adjustments? And it really just depends on what you're dealing with. In this case, if I do an adjustment on that left hind, but I don't relax and clear up this tightness in the wither, I'm not going to have any success. It's going to feel very jarring for her, and she's not going to enjoy that adjustment. So what I'm going to do is try to get these muscles on this side to relax by just using a little soft pressure technique. There was a nice little deep breath. And so what I'm doing is just putting a little stretch into the muscles by pushing them straight in towards the body. Good girl. And I'm just going to hold that constant pressure even through her moving around and getting a little bit tight. And I want to see that head drop or the eyes soften up or the ears go forward, maybe a big deep breath. There's the ears turning forward. Yeah, you can see her nostrils are flaring. She's taking some big deep breaths, which I really love. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So I get the sense from her like she's ready for something to hurt. So if I do that and I make something hurt, then I just reinforce her expectation. And then the next time I show up, she's like, oh, here's that guy who's going to make it hurt. And I don't want that. So nice soft tissue, very comfortable stuff. There we go. Nice little head shake. There we're licking and chewing. That's beautiful. Head's dropping. Good girl. Good girl. And I don't mind that head coming around. That's curiosity right there. Never want to punish curiosity. Good girl. Good girl. Because when they're curious, they're in a parasympathetic state, which is a resting and digesting state. So the last thing you want to do is punish that. A lot of people will yank the head around. If I'm having somebody hold the horse, they'll prevent that head from coming around. But I really like the head coming around, one, because it tells me that she's enjoying that, that's comfortable for her. Whoops, sorry, sweetie. And also because she's curious, and if she's curious, then she's in parasympathetic state. So that's what I like to see. Yeah, she's not too sure. She's a little uncomfortable. Oh, you good girl. There we go. So in my opinion, she's being very protective of that left side. You can probably see that if I go around to the left side and she turns her head and tries to block me from going over there. You can see that. You know, that's her kind of protecting something over there. If I come over to the right side, she's not doing that to me. So let's see. So we'll do that again. I'm just going to stand right in front of her. Back. Come on. Good girl. Back. Good. Stand her right there. And then go around to this side. Good. That was better. Come on. Good girl. All right. Good. Good girl. Keep you guys in the frame here. So she's still a little bit spastic on this side, but way better. I mean, you can see that area there. It's not nearly as spastic as it was before. Just a little twitch right there. So I might have a little bit to work on right through here. So let's try to do that from this side. And again, all I'm doing is just putting pressure straight into the muscle belly. Just giving it a little stretch. So you can see that head position, it's very comfortable. She's nice and relaxed, her eyes are softening up and closing. So when you do this pressure point work or GTO work on horses, when you're on the right spot, they'll just start to zone out. They'll get real quiet, just like she's doing right there. They'll just zone out into space, calm right down. There it goes. It just released huge under my fingers. And you can get on that and you can see we don't have any of that twitching happening in the shoulder. And we're getting that, oh baby, twitching in the muzzle like she likes that. Oh girl, there's a good girl. Oh, you're a good girl. There we go. That's nice. Beautiful. All right, so with that tightness in the wither, what we want to make sure to do is check her rotation to her shoulders. Oh, easy girl. So you can see, right? So just a little bit of movement, right? It wakes her right up. So she's just in what we would call a sympathetic overdrive state, or she's just very not susceptible, but she's very prone to that fight or flight, right? So the smallest thing kind of gets her excited and nervous. Good girl. So that's something we got to work on. Good girl. So I want her to come around and touch her right shoulder where my hand is. And I know that if I push too hard, she's going to fly away. So I just want to do this nice and easily. Oops, see that? Good girl. Oh, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. Yeah, that's good. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Huh? That was beautiful. And then, of course, as soon as she rotates around and touches, I want to let that pressure go. Give her that little release and let her have that little dopamine hit and get that reward cycle going. That was really good. Yeah, it's like you guys are watching in the mirror because my logo's backwards to you guys. So you got to think about as if you were looking in the mirror when you're watching this. I know. I've had people argue with me that I'm saying the wrong side. But if I don't know the right side, I'm in trouble. Thank you for the likes, you guys. If you guys don't mind continuing to hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. If you want to share the live, that would be amazing also. But thanks for the engagement. I really appreciate that. Yeah, thanks, David. I appreciate it. My goal for hopefully before the end of the year is to get to 100,000 followers or subscribers. Right now I think I'm just under 90,000, so I need about 10,000 more. So thank you for that. All right, so we just brought her head around to the right. Now I'm going to bring her head around to the left because I always want to check side to side and see which one is better. But again, she's going to be real sensitive, so all I want to do is just apply the lightest pressure that it takes for her to start coming around and then hold it. Whoa. Whoop. See? So that's that flight response right there. It's all right, girl. Come on. It's okay. There we go. Oh. It's okay. Come on. So she's just stuck in that fight or flight mode. Good girl. Good girl. So literally all I'm doing on the shoulder is I'm just barely resting the tips of my fingernails on there and just applying the lightest pressure, just the lightest pressure. Almost like if I was putting my finger on my eyeball and pushing on my eyeball, I'm pushing as hard as as it is comfortable for me to put that pressure on my eyeball. So, it's very, very light. Just the pressure I can stand by doing this is really all I'm doing on the shoulder, and that's how much she's reacting. So just go nice and slow. Sometimes you can't do the pressure points and you just have to go straight to the manual range of motion checks and manual stretches. It's my pleasure, David. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so we're going to do that again. Yes, I know, I'm a glutton for punishment. And maybe I don't even use my fingernails. Maybe I just use the pads because it's a little bit less aggressive, right? So I'm just going to put pressure with the pads of my fingers and see if she'll come around with that. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So I'm keeping an eye on her. She's keeping an eye on me, as you can see. Good girl. So as soon as she starts to move to the left, I'm just going to relax my pressure a little bit. Oh, good girl. Good girl. That's good. There you go. There you go. Good girl. There you go. Good job. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. So you can see with a horse like this, it's just a matter of getting your trust, or a matter of getting her trust, I should say. Because I didn't do anything different there than I did the first time. She just said, okay, I'm going to take my eye off you for a second and go over there. Whereas before, as soon as she started to go and she lost sight of me, she flipped out. So it's a very good idea to go extremely slow and just kind of go with them. Don't force them to do anything. And the slower you go, the more they're going to trust you. Good girl. So I'm going to do that one more time and just see if she's willing to do that for me again. Good girl. All right, so I'm just going to put my hand there. Oh, she's already kind of bailing out to the left, so I'm going to let her reset. Good girl. So what I don't want her to do is I don't want her whole body going over there. I just want her head to come around, head and neck only. So if I have my hand here and I feel this whole area starting to rotate, then I'm gonna let go of my pressure and restart. So I want her to do this the correct way. Good girl. And she's getting a little happier. All right, so let's see again. Oh, so I'm just gonna let her go. Come back. Good girl. Easy. Good girl. There you go. Good girl. There you go. It's okay. And sometimes with these horses, you just gotta kind of scrap what you were thinking you were gonna do and just try to make some progress. And each time you come out, you make a little more and a little more progress until you get everything done. Good girl. But the biggest thing is they gotta trust you. Good girl. Good girl. They gotta trust you. You gotta build some rapport. Oh. So she's running off, but not as bad that time. Come on. But you can see with this mare, they're saying, they're thinking it's in the hind end, but it's really not. Come on, over. Good girl. But it's not in the hind end, it's in the front end, at least so far. And we're just gonna keep going back to it. Just gonna keep working on it. And I just want her to figure this out. Good girl. So just slow, easy pressure. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, easy. Easy. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. There you go. There you go. Good girl. That was good. That was good. Huh? Oh, it's okay. I don't know the full history on this mare, but if I had to guess, I would say she was not handled very nicely and not broken very well. It's a sad situation because you can tell that she just wants to be sweet. I mean, look at that. She wants to be sweet, but something in that brain is going, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. So that's a learned behavior in my opinion. I don't think this is something that these horses are born with. So this is another good reason to have your horses adjusted, just because the more people get their hands on them and the more they can learn to trust people, the better the experience is going to be for the owner and for the rider. Even if there's nothing wrong with them, even if you don't find any major issues that they need to be adjusted, just having their body manipulated and having their joints moved out through their whole range of motion, and having somebody that's going to work on them like this and really praise their good behavior and stuff like that is really going to make a big difference. So that was really nice. Good girl. So now that we've gotten her to come around and touch the shoulders, I want to do some just manual range of motion checks, which is more of a what you would consider a passive range of motion exercise. Passive just meaning that I'm doing most of the work, not her. So her job during this is just to relax. Good girl. Good girl. And just let her head come around, and I'm just going to bring it all the way around to the shoulder. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Beautiful. That's really nice. And then I'm going to give that to her for a second. Girl. And when I think she's ready for that next side, I'll go and do the same thing to the right. You can see how much she's relaxing and starting to enjoy it. She's nodding off a little bit. That's a good girl. So, and this wouldn't be happening if she wasn't in that parasympathetic state, meaning if she wasn't in that resting and digesting mental state, she wouldn't be doing this. So this is a really, really good sign. Better than the sign of licking the lips and chewing and stuff like that is the head position. Head position below the withers is a relaxed horse. Head position above the withers is not a relaxed horse, right? That's an alert horse. Good girl. So this is what I love to see. This is my goal more than anything of an adjustment, is to get a horse to relax. Everything works better, their bodies work better when they're in this mental state. Good girl. And then when I can get them to relax like this, when they react to some areas that I'm pushing on by bringing that head up, I know exactly where the issue is. That's a good girl. All right, so I'm going to bring her around to this right side now. I know it looks like the left side, but this is the right side. I'm going to bring her around this way. Good girl. And I'm just checking for that same movement. Good girl. Good. That same movement, not pulling away, not doing it any differently, just coming all the way around and touching. And that was very, 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 very nice. Good girl. Good girl. Is it good? So the next thing I'm going to check, oh, it's all right, baby girl. Next thing I'm going to check on her is her pole. And I'm just going to check for any pain or discomfort at her pole first. Good girl. And the way I'm going to do that, the way I like to do it, is to use my thumb and middle finger, and I just put it right up behind the ears right there. And then I'm just going to apply a nice easy pressure towards the tip of her muzzle while I squeeze. So it's just doing this. And then I'll start to do something like that, kind of like a little jellyfish, and just see if that's comfortable. And there's a difference between discomfort and fear, right? So if I get my hand up here and she just starts reacting like crazy before I even apply any pressure, that's not pain, right? That's just probably previous trauma. You could be dealing with a horse that's ear sensitive because they were twitched. You just don't know. But if I'm not applying any pressure, I can't be causing any pain. It's like she's preventing that from happening, preventing herself from feeling whatever pain she thinks is coming, because she's really actually pretty comfortable up here. And she's enjoying this. You can see the eyes kind of softening up as I do this. Good girl. And her head's dropping a little bit. So that's really good. And you could see when I first placed my hands there, she was throwing her head up, but I really wasn't even applying any pressure at all yet. So pull is very comfortable actually. So I would also expect this to be really comfortable. And you can see no problem with hyoid. And the reason I expected the hyoid to be fine is because the vast majority of the time when you have hyoid issues under here, when they're sore up under here, they're also sore at the pole. And there's very good reasons for that. But when a horse is super comfortable around the hyoid, it's rare that you have pole pain. And she's very, very comfortable up there. So that's all really, really good. Good girl. The other thing you deal with when you have horses like this, who are very reactive, is they are super, super sensitive to the pressure points. So I will not be doing the pressure points on her back here. I might kind of delve into it a little bit. Oh, that's a good girl. Whoop. So you can see that. I even just had my hand resting there, and that's how she reacted. So horses that are super reactive up here to pressure points are going to be 10 times reactive back there. So that's when you get yourself into a dangerous situation where they'll rear or kick or, you know, spin, and you just don't want to apply those pressure points on horses like this. You'd rather just do everything manually, nice, easy, slow stretches, just to keep yourself safe. And guys, if you don't mind double tapping your screens for me, I would really, really appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Mohammed. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I agree with you, Kathy. Yeah, she's definitely more watchy and more sensitive on this side for sure. Easy. She's also a horse that I wouldn't be surprised if we were dealing with some ulcers, which are making her be so sensitive. Good girl. I know. It's all right. Good girl. When horses have ulcers, their pain threshold is very, 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 very low, meaning that it doesn't take much to set them off. And sometimes when you have an ulcer situation, you just get a horse that's all of a sudden extremely reactive. And it's really just because they can't take anymore, right? They can't handle any more pain. And when you get them to move, and especially when you get them to collect and contract their abdominals, if there's ulcers there, that's really, really going to hurt. So they'll be very guarded, very bracy. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on the point of her hips. Just try to drive the SI joints back up into flexion, which is the position of the SI joints when they bring the hind legs forward. But I can tell that she's going to be very reactionary or very reactive to this. It's already a sensitive spot for most mares. You see that? So she's already lifting the leg, pinning the ears, and that's just with very easy pressure. Good girl. So I'm just going to apply nice easy pressure around the point of the hip and see if I can figure out maybe where she's sore back here. And I'm going to do this up here and just apply a little pressure down there. And she's okay with that so far. Good girl. She's okay with that so far, so that's good. There. There's a little response there. So I'm going to hold that. I'm just going to hold this pressure right here and just see if I can't get that to release a little bit. Sorry, I know I'm blocking you guys, but you know, you take what you can get from a horse like this and don't focus too much on where the camera's at. Good girl. Good girl. That's a good girl. Oh, she's licking and chewing there. Wagging her tail. Good girl. And that's good. It's really good. So the reason why I'm checking this area right here at the rim of the pelvis is because if you were here earlier, I was talking about how these muscles were twitchy and sore, and those muscles eventually attach to it's called the iliac crest, or the rim of the pelvis. So I want to make sure that these are comfortable, that there's no pain going on here, which would prevent her from comfortably extending that leg behind, and then she would be short coming forward. Good, what's happening, my man? My friend? Let's see. Good girl. So she's doing a lot better there. So I'm also going to check the other side because I want to see how both sides are doing. Good girl. Good girl. And she's pretty tender. She's got a pretty big, whew. It looks like one of the horses took a little bite out of her fairly recently, and she's real sore around that spot. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. Good girl. So I'll try to check this side without touching that, touching that sore spot, which is right here. Good girl. So she's so watchy with her hind end. Good girl. So I'm just feeling the area around the point of her hip, seeing if there's any painful areas there, and then also see her move away from that spot. And then also I want to check all up here around that iliac crest again. Iliac crest is just the highest forwardmost point of the pelvis where a whole bunch of muscles attach. All of the muscles that extend the lower back eventually attach right through here. And that area can get really sore, especially if they have pain and soreness in the wither. And overall, she seems okay here. There's a little bit right there. So I'm just gonna hold that spot. That's a good girl. And then see if I can't get that to release. Oh, that's a good girl. And then once I do this, I'm gonna come back up to the pole and see if I can't check her pole inflection coming straight down towards her chest. Good girl. Good girl. And the position that I'm in right now isn't the best for safety. So if you have a reactive horse, I would not stand the way I'm standing. But I can feel her body. I can feel how relaxed she is. And she's not tense at all. And you could see a minute ago that she brought her head all the way around while I was standing like this. And I'm okay with that because, again, that's something that they do when they're curious. And I want to encourage the curiosity, so I let her come around. If she came around quick, right? If she was to come around, if she was going to come around super quick and be really guarded and like it's a pain response, then I'm not gonna stand there because I could get in trouble. But you know, the way she's doing it is totally fine. YouTube's blocking my notifications, I guess. Bastards. I haven't seen Miss Thirsty. I don't know. I expect to see comments from her later about her being so upset that she missed it. Horses are on their feet 99% of the time. Unless they're sleeping, lying down, they'll be up. In fact, most of the time when a horse goes down, not most of the time, but when a horse does go down, that can be a concern about colic. So you wanna see a horse on their feet the vast majority of the time. All right, so let's check our pole. I'm gonna just come back up here and just make sure that we're still good up here. And we are. Good girl. Yep, still good there. So I'm gonna see if she'll bring her head down towards her chest for me. Oh, that was beautiful. That was a really nice release right there. She's like, whoa, what was that? Good girl. That was great, sweet pie. That was great. That was great. So if any of you saw her work with me the first time, this is Tequila. She was not very happy. She was very, very difficult to work on. And it's a much, much better situation this time. So, which is amazing. And what I really like to see is that every time I come out, you know, the horses are better and better and better and more willing and not so unhappy to see me. Yeah, and you can see her posture is just way, way better. Head is nice and low, ears aren't pinned back, face is nice and soft. You can see the wrinkles in her eyebrows. You can see how quiet she is right now. It's awesome. Good girl. Oh. So I'm going to go to the front legs and see if I can't get her to stretch out her front legs for me. And if any of you guys are interested in learning how to stretch your horses, just put a little horse emoji in the comments, and when I'm all done with the live, I'll go back in there and send you the link to my equine stretching course that I have on my website, which is Sport Horse Chiropractic, if anybody wants to take a gander at that. Oh, that's a good girl. Ooh-wee. There we go. That's good. There we go. Oh, that was a nice little release in the knee there. Easy, easy. Good girl. Good girl, mama. Easy, easy. Oh. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So you can see by the way she reacts, she's like, man, something's about to hurt, right? Something's about to hurt me. And she's just pulling away before anything actually does hurt. She's like, I'm out of here before I even experience that. Hey, Morgan. Yeah, absolutely, Gouda, for sure. Good girl. Woo. Got a little tractor driving by there. So let me fix her position a little bit. Good girl. Oh. All right, bring her over. Come on. Oh. Girl. She's trying, just not sure what I'm asking. There we go. Awesome. Wow, we have 29 viewers and 29 likes. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. So hard to get the likes on YouTube just because you can only hit it once. Unlike on TikTok, you know, you can sit there and tap the like button a million times. So when I get 100%, that's amazing. So thank you. All right, so let's bring this leg up. Oh, just flexing that, got a really nice release in the knee there. Good girl. So you can see how everything I'm doing with this mare is just nice and slow, very deliberate. And that's because if you go too fast with her, she's gonna freak out a little bit. And obviously, this isn't the most safe position for me to be in with a horse that might do that. So everything is just nice and slow, very deliberate. You want it to be super easy. If you go slow, you can allow them to start to pull against you and allow them to have that retreat response without them blowing up to get away from you. You can kind of catch it early and take away a little bit of that pressure. And then what they'll do is they'll kind of pull away, and it's almost like they go, oh, if I need to get away, he's gonna let me go, you know, versus me like holding on for dear life, like I'm making her stand here. It's just another little way to build some rapport. Good girl. There's her shoulder. Big shoulder release with that. Good girl. So the big thing with horses is they just need to know that they're safe, right? If they don't feel like they're safe, they're not going to relax for you. You're not going to get anything done because they're going to be stuck in that fight or flight mode. And even if you are able to get stuff done with them, because they're in that fight or flight state mentally, they're not going to remember anything. They're not going to be able to know when they're doing something right and learn for the next time that's what you want them to do. They don't have any long-term memory when they're in a fight or flight state. Their sole job and their sole focus at that moment is to get to safety. So you can imagine if you are fearing for your life, you're not going to remember anything either, right? You're just going to try to remember, or you're just going to try to get the heck away. It's like when you're in a car accident and somebody hits you, you immediately go into that fight or flight state. And sometimes you don't even remember getting hit, right? You just remember the aftermath of getting hit. And that's all because your brain is in that fight or flight sympathetic state, right? Different from when you're sitting down at a desk studying math, right? And you can remember how to do the math 10 years later. But if you were trying to learn how to do that same math when you were scared for your life, you're not going to remember anything, right? It just makes sense. And it's that way multiplied by 1,000 for horses. Good girl. Awesome. So I'm going to give her a really nice TMJ stretch. Just want to make sure she can chew and open nice and wide. I can check her teeth. I can check her extension at her pole. Good girl. Good girl. Easy, easy, easy. Good girl. Nice. So that chew looks really good. Teeth are matching up really well. Good extension at the pole. You can see how she's extending her head and neck, and then she's turning her head this way, right? She's turning her head away from me. That is exactly what I want to see when I hit this TMJ pressure point. And if you want to learn how to do this one, this is just one of the stretches that I teach in my equine stretching course. This is a pressure point stretch for the TMJ. Just put a little horse emoji in the comments, and when I'm all done today, I'll send you a link directly to my equine stretching masterclass, and maybe put a little promotional code in there for you. There you go. Very nice. There. So there's that head tilt, full extension. Very, very good. That's very good, sweetie pie. Oh, very good. So that's really, really nice. All right. So this was Tequila. I am all done with her. I think she's had enough of me for today. And you don't want to push it, right? You want to end on a good note. And that was a really good note right there. I thought she was gonna go straight for her water, but let's see. Or maybe for her food. I've got one more horse to work on here. I'm gonna head over and work on him. His name is, let me see, his name is Lottie, in case. No, don't write horse emoji. Put an actual horse emoji in the comments. Lottie is a biter, and he's very, uh-oh, equipment malfunction. He's apparently very uncomfortable today, and he's a biter. So it's going to be a very interesting one to work on. I am going to switch over to my TikTok page for that one. So if you'd like to watch Loudy get adjusted, please switch over to there. It's just at sport. Let's see, what is it? At Sport Horse Chiropractic, but it's sport.horse.chiropractic. And look at her. She's just like, hey man, where are you going? So sweet mare. She can be a sweet mare for sure. Awesome. Thanks, guys. You don't have a horse emoji? Just go to your emojis and search for horse, and it'll pop up right after your parachute opens. Oh my goodness. Oh, I missed some comments. Sorry guys. Scroll back through here for a second. Oh, thanks, Bommy. I appreciate that if you're still in here. Thank you. Thanks, DJ. Yeah, Morgan, she's a little quarter horse. Most of these guys are quarter horses in this barn. There's a little paint right there. Got a little bit of everything here. There's an Appaloosa right there with the white butt. All right. Hey, Carol, how are you? Thank you so much. I'm glad you like the content. Hope you're a subscriber. Help me reach my goal of getting to 100,000 by the end of the year. That would be amazing. Get my little YouTube plaque. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a great place. There's a whole another barn full of horses. This is called AZ Rodeo Ready, and they give a lot of lessons here, a lot of kids, but also a lot of adults. So if anybody around here, or if anybody is around here and you want some lessons, this is the place to be. Let's see. This is a really cute little buckskin right here. Her name is Peep. P-E-E-P. But she likes to stick her head out and put her head on you. And then when you go to pet her, she's like, oh wait. No, no, no. She's like, I want to be the petter. You just stand there and be quiet. But she's a sweetheart, this one. Oh, you're a good girl. Oh, what happened? Startled herself. All right, let's find Loudy. Loudy actually might be. Nope, here's Loudy. Loudy is a big boy. This is him right here. Whoop. Tall, lanky, thoroughbred. All right. Hey, buddy. So as you can probably see, he's a cribber. You can see what he's doing there. Biting on the railing and pulling back. See if you get a better view. You can see that. So that's a cribber right there. You can imagine what they do to their TMJs and their poles and their hyoids and all of that stuff by cribbing. So cribbers need a lot of maintenance. Oklahoma, where in Oklahoma, Gouda? I've got a lot of clients out there, so I'm sure I could find something that'll work for you. All right. Oh, OKC. Well, let me put a word out, and I'll see if I can find something for you down there. I have a lot of paint horse clients down there, but they're mostly show barns, not lesson barns. All right, guys, I'm gonna switch over to TikTok. So if you want to watch me work on Loudy, which is always an interesting adjustment because he's a biter, like I said, feel free to swap on over there. Again, that's sport.horse.chiropractic. And otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube Live. Bye-bye.